What's up, YouTube? I've been watching a lot of videos on people's psychedelic trips on hallucinogenics. And some of them are funny, some of them are trippy, some of them are scary. But I thought I would share my story on my trip out on acid. Now, this was back in 2011, so I was like 16. And at this point in my life, like, everything was good, everything was going good, like just everything was in my hands, like I was having a good time, I was like making new friends, real good new friends, like I had a new job, an Xbox 360 I just got, so everything was really, really good, and the only thing I've ever done was smoke weed and drink beers at this time. So I never did anything like psychedelics or any drugs at that matter. So a few weeks before, this wasn't on 4th of July, but a few weeks before, I was like, oh, you know what, I want to do like shrooms or something. I want to do something other than weed and beer. I just want to do it like at least once. So I just talked about it. Like, I never really did it. So then 4th of July happens. Now, they're like kids playing with sparklers, they're like, everyone's having a good time around me, I'm having a good time, I'm with my friend Rob, we're talking and shit. And then this girl, Emily, who sells acid, comes. And she's selling everybody acid and shit. And I had $30 in my pocket. And she comes up to our table just to say hi and like catch up. And I look at her and I'm like, you know what? I've been talking about this for a long time, even though it's only been a week. I feel like I was talking about it for a long time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna ask her to buy some acid. So I look at her. I like take out $20. I'm like, hey, all I got is $20, and I really want to have I want to have a good time. I want to have a trip, and I want to experience it all. I just want to just take my money, give me some acid. I don't give a fuck. Just give me some acid. So she gives me some acid, and I drop it, and I go inside and get a burger and a soda. So I come back out, like, she leaves after like 20 minutes. So I'm talking, and I think after 30 minutes, the effects start to come in. Like, I'm like feeling real good. Like, I'm feeling good. Like, I feel like I entered like they're like the wall of myself. Like I like smashed through 3 walls of myself, and I'm feeling like 10 times myself, if that makes sense. Now, I'm like more talkative. I'm more happy. I'm like laughing. I'm like having a good time. I'm just like really into the zone. And all of a sudden, like, things get brighter. Like, I notice things more. I'm noticing things more. So, like, the trippiness started to kick in at this point. So I'm, like, noticing everything. Like, everything's, like, brighter. Everything's just shiny. Everything's popping out. Not exactly popping out, but everything just pops. Everything just, I could notice every single thing at the park we were at. So I look at a street line. Like, one of the things I really remember is looking at a street sign. Not a street sign, a street lamp. And it wiggled. I remember that a lot. It started dancing too. Like, it looked like it was dancing. So I look at Rob. I'm like, he looks at me. He goes real up into my face. He's like, and all of a sudden, like, slow mo starts. And he's just like, your eyes look big. And I'm like, what? And he goes, dude, your eyes are fucking huge. I'm like, so I go in the bathroom, I pee. I'm like, I look into the mirror. This really fucked me. This is what probably really fucked me. Is I look into the mirror, and all of a sudden, this eye, I'm like, whoa, holy shit. So I like bag my, I'm like, what the fuck, oh shit. So I look back, and it's just normal. But then all of a sudden, this eye just starts slowly dropping. I'm just like, what the fuck? I open my mouth, and my tongue just comes out. It's like a lizard tongue. It goes all the way down. It's like in the cartoons, like when like fucking one of the old cartoons where like they see a real hot girl and they're like, ah, and her tongue comes out. That's what happened. Like, so it just flopped out. I'm like, I gotta get my tongue back in my mouth. I think what really happened, I was just doing this the whole time. But I was just like, I gotta get my tongue back in my mouth. And I was like, put my hand in my mouth. I was like, oh shit. And then I felt like my hands felt watery, so I looked. My hands were sweating. So I did this. I breathed. I looked, and there was water dripping down. It was just sweat, but I thought it was water. I looked, and I was like, oh shit. I'm turning into a water person. If I don't drink fucking water, I'm gonna fucking melt into a water, and nobody's gonna be able to save me, and I'll just be water forever. So I went and got a glass of water, went back outside, and I just kept going in and out to get water. I got like 4 glasses. I drank 4 glasses of water. And I think by the 5th time, I was getting my 5th glass, and I looked, everything just snapped, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck am I getting water for? I like completely forgot why I'm doing this shit. So I was like, what the fuck am I getting water for? So I left the water there. I went back outside, talked, and Rob got the munchies. I had the munchies, and I was like, dude, I got $10. We could go like get some cheap chips and some soda or something. So we walked to the store, and the walk in the store was really fucking trippy. Now, we walked across the road, and the road is moving like back and forth in front of my eyes, just back and forth. And I'm walking, and all of a sudden it just feels kind of like everything just feels like, not like I'm floating, but I just feel like not as heavy. Like I feel light. Like I just like slide across. I feel like I was ice skating. And I look at the grass, and the grass had little crystals in them. It was actually probably just water, because it just rained like a few days before. And then, like, I guess I was walking weird, because I know at one point Rob was like, dude, chill the fuck out. You're just being trippy as shit. Just walk normally. And after he said that, that really, like, tripped me out. I was like, am I not walking normally? How should I walk? How does normal walking work? So I started walking, like, I started, like, stomping my feet down. I started doing all sort of crazy, like, I was trying to find out, how do you walk normally? And I couldn't find out how to walk normally. And by the time we got into the store, then it just got trippy. It, like, opened, and we went to the store. This little ding-dong noise, they should me out because it came from everywhere. It wasn't just, like, usually it's just, like, on the top. It was a ding-dong, but, like, it came from everywhere. It was, like, echoing everywhere. I'm looking around like, what the fuck? So, like, and then Rob was like, dude, chill out. When we said that, it echoed everywhere. And every noise just echoed everywhere. Just everywhere. It just echoed. I was like, what the fuck? This is so fucking trippy. So we get the food, we go back. Like, it's been, like, probably 3 hours already. So we're just talking, and everyone's going home at this point. So we go home, he goes home, I go home. My house is probably like 2 blocks down, so I walk to my house. Like, I was still in a good mood though. I was still in a like really good mood. Like, nobody was at my house. My house was like empty. Like, my siblings were somewhere else. They weren't gonna be there at all this whole night. My mom was working, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna have a religious experience with this acid. I'm gonna find myself. Now, I look at the sun, and the way it's circled, it just turned into an oval. It just melted into the sky. It just melted. And it was just the most beautiful thing I ever seen. It was just, it mesmerized me. It was just amazing. I was just filled with this happiness by looking at the sun and the beauty of the sun. I just wanted to become one with the sun. So after like 3 minutes of staring at the sun, I saw a cop car pass, and that tripped me out. That really fucked me, because when I saw that, my oh shit just went off, and I was like, okay, I'm going home. I gotta go home. So I go home, I walk in, and all of a sudden it seemed like I was in like a Mario dungeon. Like, I had to jump around my house, and like I had to jump up the stairs, and I felt like I was in a Mario dungeon. So I go into my room, I open my door, and at the time, the wall of my room had a bunch of trippy shit on it. Like, me and my friends would just get high and just write shit on the wall. Like, we'll draw pictures, we'll, like, write quotes. I'd write poems and shit on the wall. And when I looked at the wall, all the letters were moving, and they were coming out and just moving around. And I said something. I think I said, "This is really trippy," but when I said it, it came out of my mouth. I saw the letters. "This is really trippy" came out, and it stuck to the wall. And I was like, oh shit, that's how it happens. So in my mind, I thought, oh shit, that's how all the letters got there. Whenever you say something, the letters get on the wall and stick on it forever and ever. So I left my room. I heard the water running, like someone was in the kitchen. I thought I was alone, so I was like, oh shit, like something's in my house. So I thought it was just tripping. So I was like, alright, I'm gonna go check this out to see what it really is. So I go in the kitchen, my mom's in there. And then I'm like, oh shit, my mom's here. So she looks at me, I look at her. We look at each other for a while. We're like staring each other down. I can't remember what exactly expression I had on my face. I guess it gave it away or something. I don't know what happened. But all of a sudden, I blink, and when I open my eyes, she's there in front of me, like right there. And she looks at me, and she's like, "What are you on?" I look at her. I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Your eyes are huge. What are you on?" I look at her, and everything snaps back to reality. And I look at her, and everything's normal. I'm like, oh. I look at her, and I say, really slowly, I say, LSD. I can't remember what actually happened after that, because, like, I don't think we had a conversation about it or anything. She just kind of ignored it, I guess. But then I went into the den, and I put Avatar on. No, Avatar was already on, actually. Avatar was on. I remember it being just the most amazing, just, like, the way, it was just really, really amazing movie. Like, if you ever do acid, you gotta watch Avatar. It's really the most beautiful. It's just like, it's orgasmic. That's the best way I could say it. It's just beautiful movie. Like, the blue people are beautiful. The lane, the whole planet is beautiful. Like, everything in it is just perfect. And it's just like, it's just perfect and beautiful and great. And I just started crying. When it ended, I just started crying. I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to continue. So I was crying because the movie is over and it was the most beautiful, amazing thing I ever seen. So I put it on again and I watched it again. I watched it 2 times. And then, at this point, the acid started wearing off a little. So I went upstairs, I put on some Pink Floyd. I shut my eyes. Now, about my upstairs is, at this time, we didn't have an air conditioning, so upstairs would get really, really, really hot. Now, I started sweating, and I started feeling hot. My whole body felt hot at this time. And I opened my eyes all of a sudden, I take my shirt off. And I started breathing, I was like, shit. In my mind, I thought I was gonna burn up. I thought if I didn't escape this room, or any room upstairs, I would burn up. So I don't know why I did this, but I went to my sister's room, opened the window, and then when you open the window, you can get on the roof. So I got on the roof, and I think I ran around on the roof. And that was very dangerous now that I think about it. I should have had a sitter with me. But I went back inside, I went downstairs, I went to my mom's bed. But then my mom got mad and told me to get out of the room, so I was like, oh shit. So I left the room, I went outside, I started pacing around a little. Well, cause at this time, it was like I was going in and out of the high. Like, I was becoming sober, but then I would become high again. And sober and high. It really tripped me out at this point, cause in my mind, it made me believe that the trip would never end. So, I'm pacing around, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna be like this fucking forever. This shit's so trippy. So, I go calm myself down, so I go in my garage, I get my bong out, I get some weed, I put the weed in the bong, I start smoking the bowl, and it calmed me down a little. I calmed down. So I was like, okay, I just gotta ride this out. And I put on some music, put on some Pink Floyd, and it was really trippy. I know at one point, at one song, I turned it off because it was like tripping me out real bad. Cause like every song, there were no lyrics. I remember at one point there were no lyrics to any of the songs. It was, I can't remember what album it was, but it was just weird noises. So I turned it off, and then I put on some Beethoven, some classical music just to calm me down. And when that happened, that really calmed me down. I started, like, I laid down, and there was like a skeleton. Okay, for Halloween we had a bunch of decorations, and I kept the skeleton because there was a really cool skeleton that I had, and I put it on the garage door and hung it there. So I like lean back, I lay down, I look at the skeleton, and he's dancing. All of a sudden he's just like dancing to the Beethoven, and then I remember I closed my eyes. I started like having flashbacks about my life and everything that happened in my life, like just like everything about my childhood, like just everything, like how I felt and everything. And I realized like I made a connection towards everything. Like I realized what made my life go places the way they went. So like I made connections for everything, and it blew my mind. Like everything made sense. Like every single little detail made sense. This is why this happened. This is why that happened. And like I found solutions, answers to everything. So I had a religious experience with it. I really did. And like I started crying because I felt like I had the secrets to the world. Like I could solve anything, and I never wanted it to end. And I didn't know why I was freaking out about it never ending. I wanted it to continue forever. I started crying, and I just bolted in tears, like, and then I think this happened for like a whole hour, and like I slowly started getting tired and tired, and like less high. I started getting like really sleepy, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to sleep, wake up, and I woke up the next day, got a bowl of cereal, sat down, and I felt drained emotionally. I felt like everything was drained. Like I just felt weak. I felt like really sad. Like there was no way to make me happy. So that's the only thing I didn't like about it. Other than that, I thought that the acid was really good and the trip was really good. And then yeah, that's my acid experience. That's my psychedelic trip. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was just as good as it was for me. And that's it.